What made 1971 such a wild year for music? 16 different singles climbed to number one, each carrying its own story. While today's hits can stand on top for months, back then the crown changed hands almost every week. One track gave teenage idols their biggest moment, another became a singer's legacy only after her sudden death. While some of these hits burned fast, others became lifelong favorites. But together, they captured the spirit of America in 1971. Today, we're counting down 12 songs that ruled the year in 1971. January, My Sweet Lord, Isn't It a Pity? George Harrison. When George Harrison released My Sweet Lord late in 1970, it marked his first real step out of the Lennon-McCartney shadow. Its mix of pop melody and spiritual chanting caught audiences off guard and quickly propelled the song to number one in early 1971. The song paired with Isn't It a Pity, a mournful ballad that revealed Morrison's quieter side, became one of the year's biggest sellers. Though Harrison's solo career never again reached the same commercial peak, this track secured his place as more than the quiet Beatle. Even with the later plagiarism lawsuit, My Sweet Lord endures as one of Harrison's most defining works. And just as Harrison was carving out his own space, another unexpected voice took the spotlight. February, Rose Garden, Lynn Anderson. By February, country music briefly overtook the rock-heavy charts thanks to Lynn Anderson's Rose Garden. This song had been passed over by several male singers before Anderson sang it. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. With that opening line, she delivered a country pop anthem that soared to number one and became her signature hit. Anderson's bright, polished voice carried the tune far beyond Nashville, pulling in pop audiences nationwide. At the time, it was rare for a female country artist to break through so wildly, and this record helped pave the way for stars like Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire. Anderson kept recording for decades, but nothing matched Rose Garden. As Rose Garden faded away, March brought an unexpected teen energy. March, One Bad Apple, The Osmonds. Written by George Jackson, the song was originally meant for the Jackson 5. The Motown-style groove, bouncing bass, and hand-clap rhythm mirrored the Jacksons' formula, but the Osmonds delivered it with their own charm. Donny Osmond, who was only 13 at the time, sang lead, and the record jumped straight to number one, staying there for 5 weeks. One Bad Apple turned the Osmonds into household names. At a time when most teen idols came and went, the brothers managed to hold a balance of a wholesome image and musical credibility. This ensured their dominance through the early 70s. But April turned bittersweet with Janis Joplin's posthumous triumph. April, Me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin.
Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee.
It was heartbreaking that Janis Joplin never lived to see the success of her most famous recording, Me and Bobby McGee. Janis recorded it in October 1970, just days before her death, and it was released posthumously in 1971. Although other singers had performed Me and Bobby McGee before, Joplin's version rose to number one and it became her signature song. The track carried a painful irony, a song about freedom and loss from a singer whose own life ended at 27. Janis's rough, unpolished voice gave the song its power, turning what could have been a plain folk country tune into something soulful and unforgettable. Her death fixed her legend in place, but this song showed how much of her artistry the world lost too soon. Next was a lighthearted song that everyone thought was silly. May, Joy to the World, Three Dog Night. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. The opening line alone made the joy to the world unforgettable. Although Three Dog Night had already scored a run of hits, this song became their unforgettable hit. It climbed to number 1 in May 1971 and stayed there for 6 weeks, making it one of the biggest songs of the year. It was playful, almost silly, yet carried a big chorus that turned it into a sing-along anthem. For many listeners, it felt like a burst of pure fun in a year that had its share of darker songs. Even today, you can't hear those first words without a smile, which says a lot about its staying power. Notably, even members of Three Dog Night described it as a silly song, yet it was certified gold. If May was all about carefree joy, June turned towards something somber. June, Indian Reservation, Raiders.
Cherokee people.
Formerly known as Paul Revere and the Raiders, the group shortened their name to Raiders by the time they recorded Indian Reservation. The song carried more weight as it told the story of the Cherokee people lost and forced displacement. This struck a chord with listeners, becoming the band's only number 1 single in summer of 1971. The haunting lyrics stood apart from most pop hits of the day, and Mark Lindsay's vocal gave it a grave, almost mournful edge. After June's somber reminder, the next song brought comfort and reassurance through some of the most beloved singer-songwriter anthems. If these stories are bringing back old memories, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're just getting started with the surprises. July, You've Got a Friend, James Taylor.
You've got a friend.
Written and recorded first by Carole King, but it was James Taylor who carried You've Got a Friend to number 1 in July 1971. His calm, steady delivery turned the song into an anthem of comfort at a time when the world felt unsettled. Taylor's version, backed by King herself on piano, was simple and reassuring. The record went on to win Taylor a Grammy for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance, while King received Song of the Year. Taylor became firmly established as one of the voices of the singer-songwriter era. And as July offered assurance, August turned to heartbreak with a song that reshaped the Bee Gees' career. August, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Bee Gees. The Bee Gees had been around since the 1960s, but How Can You Mend a Broken Heart gave them their first number 1 in America. The song showed a softer, more soulful side of the group, far away from the disco sound that would later define them. Barry and Robin Gibbs' harmonies carried the sadness of the lyrics, making the track one of their most heartfelt ballads. Thus, proved the Gibbs brothers could write more than catchy pop and could craft something deeply emotional. Interestingly, they didn't want to record the song themselves at first. They had offered it to Andy Williams, but later decided to keep it. How Can You Mend a Broken Heart remains one of their finest songs, a quiet turning point in a career that would see many reinventions. As the Bee Gees fell off the charts, 13-year-old Donny Osmond took the spotlight. September, Go Away, Little Girl, Donny Osmond.
Go away, little girl.
At just 13, Donny Osmond took Go Away, Little Girl to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks, making him one of the youngest solo singers to ever top the charts. The song itself wasn't new. It had already been a hit in the 60s for Steve Lawrence, but Donny's boyish voice gave it a fresh innocence that younger fans adored. He was marketed as the wholesome teen idol, and this single sealed that image. Donny became a staple on magazine covers, with his face plastered on fan publications and TV shows throughout the decade. Go Away, Little Girl was only the beginning of his solo success. but it remains the track that defined him as the heartthrob of the early 70s. But no one could have predicted the next hit song, October, Maggie May, and Reason to Believe, Rod Stewart.
Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried.
No one expected Maggie May to be a hit. The record company originally pushed Reason to Believe as the side A, but Maggie May took the spotlight. The lyrics about a young man seduced and later disillusioned by an older lover struck a chord with listeners. By autumn 1971, the song had shot to number one on both sides of the Atlantic, turning Rod Stewart from a respected band frontman into a solo superstar. The mix of folk rock guitar, mandolin riffs, and Stewart's gravelly delivery made it stand apart. Interestingly, the song was partly based on Stewart's first intimate relationship with a woman. That personal honesty gave the song its edge. What started as a throwaway track ended up becoming Stewart's defining breakthrough. To this day, Maggie May remains one of the most recognizable and beloved songs. As Maggie May fell off the charts, no one expected a background film music to take the spotlight. November, theme from Shaft, Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes was already a powerhouse at Stax Records when he took on the soundtrack for Shaft, but no one expected the theme song to become a cultural landmark. With its wah-wah guitar, steady groove, and Hayes' cool, spoken delivery, the track stood out immediately. It climbed to number one on the Billboard Hot 100, although it was written as background music for the film. Interestingly, Hayes almost didn't get the project. MGM executives doubted he could score an entire film, but director Gordon Parks believed in him. Hayes didn't just write a single, he delivered a full double album that raised the bar for movie soundtracks. In March 1972, he made history as the first Black composer to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Over 50 years later, Theme from Shaft is still one of the most instantly recognizable movie themes from all time, and it cemented Hayes as both a soul inventor and a cultural trailblazer. As the year 1971 came to an end, December shocked everyone with a heartfelt song. December, Family Affair, Sly and the Family Stone. Released in November and topping the charts by the first week of December, the song was very different from their earlier joyful hits. It featured Sly Stone's tired, almost spoken vocals alongside his sister Rose's soulful lines. Instead of the bright optimism of everyday people, this was a track about conflict and strain within families. The public connected with it, and it became the group's biggest single number one hit on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the R&B charts. Behind the music, though, Sly was struggling with drug addiction, missed shows, and rising tension in the band. Those problems eventually broke the group apart. Sly kept performing for a while as a solo act, but his addiction pulled him away from music, and by 1987 he had retired. Even so, Family Affair stayed as one of the most important records of the early 70s, a song that showed a darker side of Sly and the Family Stone, and one that captured the mood of our time. From spiritual songs to polished pop to raw soul, 1971 number ones mirrored the shifting moods of the country. It was a year when radio offered both escape and reflection. A song like Joy to the World gave pure fun, while Indian Reservation carried centuries of history in its verses. Looking back, these 12 tracks of 1971 proved that a hit didn't have to follow one formula. It could be lighthearted or heavy, personal or political, and still find a place at the very top. Which of these songs do you think could actually hit number one today? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for more journeys back to the years when music actually moved the world.